Hey, this is Ben Solomon and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, I want to cover something that I read a little while ago on LinkedIn. And I think it's a fairly important thing because the thing is that the world and the people have psychologically and emotionally moved in a direction where we are all in one form or another wanting to have fulfillment from the work that we do. And we want to be cared for and respected in the organizations and by the people that we serve in a manner that makes it worth our time, gives us meaning, gives us the desire to continue serving. But all of this is going to be difficult in a very toxic culture, as well as in organizations where leaders continue to follow the industrial era of management and leadership. Now, there is probably a time and a place for some aspects of that to come into our normal management and leadership of our teams. But we need to understand that at least in the first world countries, we have transcended, if you look at the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we've transcended mostly the base layers. And we're at that point where we are seeking, to a large extent, self-actualization, which means being able to bring our higher self, being able to give our best service while being acknowledged and supported in that. For all of that to happen, the workplace needs to understand it's not the hours that you spend, it's not the time that you sit in front of a computer or in your seat that is work. A lot of us put in hours and hours of time outside of work to improve our skills, our approach, our communication, all of those aspects, to then come into the workplace and add value in a manner that is not always tangibly visible. Yes, you can have KPIs of do X and do Y, but to understand that it's not just the KPIs, but the outcome that is produced that's most important, and having buffers and spaces to allow for your staff, your team members, your leaders, all over the organization to have buffer time to be able to, one, think and look at how else can we add value, how else can we recreate what is there so that it'll be more valuable to the people that we serve, the customers, stakeholders, and everyone else that we serve. So the post that I read is from Adam Grant. I've recently started watching some of his videos, started following him on LinkedIn. So I saw this post appear in LinkedIn, and it said, employees are not resources to manage. They're humans to value. I think that should be fundamental because we're all human beings, not just at work, even in the world. We might have different beliefs, we might have different interests, we might have different everything. But at the base level, if we can respect everyone and value everyone as human beings, no matter if you're rich or poor, whatever other differentiating factor you might want to look at the most elemental level, we are all human beings. We are all, in one way or another, whether we want to accept it or not, connected and need to be valued. So he goes, employees are not resources to manage, they're not humans to value. Bad managers only care about results. It doesn't mean that, this is just me saying, it doesn't mean that he's saying results don't matter. He's saying the focus, the narrow focus of a bad manager is just results. Okay? Context. Good managers care about your well-being. Okay, good managers go, how are you doing? How's things? What's your stress level like? How, can we get you more help with certain resources, things like that. Great managers care more about your well-being than your results. What does that mean? I think a lot of people who commented negatively on that thread did not understand the context, because I've seen it work in real life. It's not a hypothetical. Maybe Adam Grant is writing from a theoretical perspective, but obviously having understood and having worked with a lot of people, getting data and information to support that. But I've seen it happen in real life. I've seen it happen. I've seen the good managers, I've seen bad managers, and I've also seen great managers who are leaders. And a great manager doesn't mean you're not going to look at results. But you're starting from the perspective of this employee. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What skills do they have? And what projects, what outcomes in the organization would best utilize their skills? So if you're a one-person team, obviously it's all on you to do certain things. But as you get into management and leadership, you are going to have a few people working with you as your team members to contribute. And each one of them has certain strengths, certain weaknesses, and certain skills that they bring. Understanding this and then allocating work based on those strengths would help them have a more fulfilling time at work, to be able to enjoy work and do their best work. And then, yes, there are going to be things that need to be done that are probably in the weakness of everyone in the team. So you pitch in, look at how we can work together to accomplish that, get it done. It does not mean results don't matter, because I saw a lot of old school managers come in and say, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. All these millennials are this and that and the other. And I'm like going, really? What people are looking for is the fulfillment, meaning in work, and being paid what they are worth. If you look at various surveys that have been done, productivity as such has significantly gone up since the 1970s. But what we get paid has not kept in track with that. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, to accomplish that productivity, the hours that most people are having to put in, especially in knowledge work, which we technologists and engineers are in, is significantly higher than the 35 or 40 hours that you're quote unquote at work. To be able to really come up with creative, long-term strategic solutions, just doing the bare minimum 35 hours at work is not going to cut it. So most of us who really care about the outcome that we create for organizations, we are spending hours after hours reading books, taking courses, learning from others, synthesizing different ideas and tactics and strategies that are working in different industries into the industry that we are working at. Which means, ultimately, as a manager, as a leader, if you can aim to balance the work going to your staff members from the standpoint of their well-being, their overall outcome, and then results usually, I'm not saying all the time, usually when your team know that you care about them, you care that the time that they spend working is fulfilling, gets the job done obviously, but is also utilizing their strengths and helping them accomplish their overall goal, vision for their life, for their career, all of that. And all of that comes into the well-being aspect. When you put the right person but in the wrong role, unfortunately they're going to burn out and not perform, and you lose a great employee. So it's on you as the manager and the leader to be able to go in, understand what is a great position for the person. Yes, you might have to shift workloads around. You might have to share things in such a way that their role description might say something, but you've got to work around that to help them accomplish the outcome that they're there to accomplish, utilizing their strengths. Which means the onus, again, is on you as the manager and leader to figure out how do the creation of the outcomes line up with the strengths of this person that we have already in our team and the skills that they have, and then let them formulate the how to get the things done. You as a manager and leader in most cases are there to determine the what needs to get done and what guidelines and frameworks need to be followed. Beyond that, let your people do their best work by figuring out what the best how is, utilizing their strengths. And if you can help them understand their strengths and show them that you care, show them that you are on their team supporting them, and mistakes are not fatal, they have the peace of mind to be able to focus and do their best ever work for you. So the last bit of the post that Adam Grant had put up was, we do our best work when leaders put people above performance. And this I have seen time and time and time again. It may not look glamorous and out there, but when you look at teams that have stayed together for years and years because the manager or the leader in place has shown that leadership and kept the team together, has created a safe space for the team to be able to vent when they need to vent, celebrate when they need to celebrate, and focus when they need to focus on getting work done. They will be there for the manager and leader no matter what happens. And then you have other managers and leaders who come in and all they care about is either their own reputation or just, these are the things to get done, just get this done. There's no safe space to sort of all have a discussion for feedback. Like, feedback is a two-way street. I should be able to have the humility to work with my team and customers, stakeholders who are giving me feedback to understand where I can grow. And there are going to be areas of weakness where I can build a skill to supplement and ensure that my performance overall, the way I appear to them, the way I work with them, is better. So to all the old school managers who think that, results are all that matters, please step back. We are living in a world, at least in the first world countries, where most people are looking for self-actualization and fulfillment, meaning, and being paid what they value, the work and the value that they bring into the organization. Rather than saying, oh, we'll only pay you X amount of dollars, or $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000, whatever it is. Look at the value that they bring into the organization, rather than maximizing just for profit. Maximize for retaining good people. People that contribute, go above and beyond. People who will, when given that safe space, create immense amount of value. So hopefully that helps you out. If you're in any form of management, whether you're a CEO, CIO, CTO, CFO, think from the perspective of, are you creating safe spaces for your team, for your staff to be able to contribute the very best? Are you giving them the resources, the support that they need so that they're not always on the run just to get the result, but also while going towards the result, looking at how else can we do this better? How else can we add value? How else can we support the whole organization? And when you create safe spaces for people even at the entry level, junior level people, and have mechanisms in place to allow them to contribute, they not only want to be a part of the vision and mission that you've created at the top, but will go above and beyond to improve themselves, thereby adding more value back to the organization. Think about that from that perspective. And ultimately, if you can treat every staff member, every team member that you have from the point of view of what is the best thing for them. I know this is a bit radical, but stay with me for a little bit. What is the very best for them? Have talks with them, understand what their vision and goal for their career and life is. And does that gel with the organization and what the organization needs of someone in their position? If it's not, work with them to figure out what their ideal position would be. Coaching is a very important part of management and leadership, and help them transition. Because ultimately, you don't want someone who doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to do, or isn't best suited to do a particular role. And transitioning might be some other role within the company, or in some cases, unfortunately, in a different company. So ultimately, when you start caring for your team members and staff as individual human beings who have wants, needs, desires, and everything, and are coming into work in a way to, yes, earn money, but also to have meaning, to create value, and make a difference. If you understand what their motivations and vision and goals are, you can work together to create a better culture, better outcome for your clients, because your internal culture is happy, is motivated, is inspired, and is working towards a vision that is changing people's lives. Anyway, that's my take on it. It's things that have worked for me in management and leadership. It's things that I've seen work for other good and great managers and leaders. And I've seen the opposite side, hurt and burn out people as well. I've been at the other end of being burnt, and I know what it's like. But I've also been at the other end, where I've had fantastic leaders who have inspired me to give 150, 200%, not in the terms of hours spent at work, but in improving myself so I can do more, create more value while I'm at work. So hopefully that helps you out. If you are coming from a old school management, KPIs are all that matter, or results are all that matter perspective, rethink where the world is going and consider, are you ready to manage and lead people in this new world, in this world where people are looking for that fulfillment, meaning, and contribution to the work that they do. I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you have any comments or feedback, please let me know below the video so that I can respond to that. And also would love to learn more from you of what has worked in your organizations, in your management, leadership, as well as in tech professional and engineering professional roles of being managed as well. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it, and have a fantastic day. I look forward to talking to you in a future episode.